Hey guys, it's Kevin Knight. I'm here for yet another unboxing video. It's been kind of cool stuff coming into the Knight household. So didn't know this was coming, which is kind of cool. What I have here is a package from the one and only Knight Scanners Inc. I believe what's inside is my KARR halogen scanner with proximity sensor and voice. So we're going to do a little unboxing. Now, from the last video I did, I got a couple private messages that said, but Kevin, I don't know how to open a box. So fine, I'll open the box with you, and I'll get a little pure satisfaction out of seeing this stuff firsthand as well. So Knight Scanners, run by an excellent individual named Chris. He produces both halogen scanner and an LED scanner for those of you that want to save and conserve your battery life when you're showing your car, or you just don't want it to run inside. Oh, we have one controller box. Oh, wow. What do we have here? Cables and the slim bar. Looks like I got an additional scanner lens. This is a nice frosted lens. Ooh, that's going to be nice for those of you that don't want your scanner bulbs, the actual halogen bulbs, to be seen. That frosted would be a nice addition. Ooh, and I got a little box in there. And more packing material. Empty box. We get rid of the empty box. So first thing is my scanner control unit that I actually sent to Knight Scanners. This was a scanner controller box that was built by Brennan Fulbright. Brennan Fulbright used to run a company that did dashboard electronics as well as scanner control boxes. A lot of the early guys in the hobby have Brennan's electronics in their dashes. They were quite explicitly done to tolerance. They looked really authentic. It's just a lot of people ended up waiting a real long time, because remember, these are custom parts, guys. This isn't, these parts aren't made in a sweatshop somewhere where they're banging out multiple units a day. A lot of the times these are guys who have 20 to 40 hour a day, 20 to 40 an hour work weeks at a full-time job, and they just happen to have the skills either from their schooling or from their actual profession to add something really cool to the Knight Rider hobby. So this is a control box that I had that I purchased secondhand. It was just a scanner unit. It did have the scanner whoosh whoosh to it, which was cool, and a lot of options that a lot of you have seen online. The double scan, the scan that misses a bulb every now and again to portray the relays in the actual show scanners that were run by relays. Sometimes the relays would get stuck and that light wouldn't light. So anyway, so this is my old controller box that I had actually inquired to Chris about installing a proximity and sound module to, retrofitted. So he can do that for the older Brennan Fulbright controller boxers. I'm not sure if, in fact, if Chris can do that for other manufacturers, and I believe not. He had a proximity module that was made by another individual, and then it's put into here. So here is the actual scanner bar in the slim style. That will fit most of the noses out there. It will fit a KITT Still Rocks and Night Designs nose. It will fit a Night Passion's nose from Zhao. It will also fit a Mark Brown Phoenix bumpers design, and most every other design out there, but it is meant to be slim like the originals were. A lot of people in the early days of the hobby, remember, I'm an OG, old timer. In the early days, we thought the scanner bar was much thicker because you would see the scanner and you would also see the reflection off the front, that flat part of the bumper. So a lot of people thought that the scanner opening was a lot bigger, and I think they wrapped this with steel, transparent steel. Let's see here. So, really elegant design. If you've never seen a scanner or seen a replica up close with one of these style scanners, there is a lip to it where the plexi slides in and holds it up against the area. So then that's that lip right here. Now in the show cars, that lip is on the bottom, and you have these flanges here on top that hold the plexi into place. A lot of people will install this scanner bar upside down and use this as a moisture barrier. In some of the original cars, you'll actually see it's double lipped, which makes, yes, the scanner opening of which the light can get out a lot thinner. So let's look at this Night Scanner's design here, because this is the first time I've ever seen a Night Scanner's design. Wow, I can't believe the thickness of this wire. Nice 18 gauge insulated wire, and the job of the tubing and the way the halogens were placed looks absolutely perfect. Nice thick grounding wire here. Put that on. Oh, that is the grounding wire. So black with a red strip, and then you just got a connector that will connect into the back of the scanner module. Now, further on down the road, once my car is painted, once the bumper's in, then we'll get to see what it looks like fired up. But it looks like I got a nice not smoked, but frosted plexi in there with an amber yellow lens, and then Chris was good enough to install, send along another frosted lens, which is great, because for something like that to get shipped, it's almost a waste to order something separate like that and waste the shipping on it. But really well put together unit, secured zip ties, and a nice little hole must have been drilled here to hold down the wiring, so that you don't get any pulling of the wiring when you're installing or when you're driving or installing it into the car. Yeah, that's a really elegant, really well-made piece. You would swear that you actually bought this from a major electronics company with the attention to detail and the quality of this work. So this is the first time, I believe, that I've ever seen a full-on Night Scanners controller box. So let me unwrap this and we'll do a little comparison to the older style scanners that you have out there. Now, for those of you that don't know, there are a couple other manufacturers of scanners out there. There was an individual that I see that you'd swear he had an ego as big as mine, and I guess he goes by the name Sid Knight, and he signs every single one of your scanner bars. I have never heard good, bad, or indifferent. Just know that there are other manufacturers of scanner bars out there. So you got to go, when you're on your budget, you got to stay within that budget, and sometimes having a top class product like the one done by Chris and Night Scanners might not fit into your budget. But if you want the best, that looks to be the best. So here is the new Night Scanners controller box. Really well made. I imagine this is just an enclosure box that is purchased and then used for these needs. Little fan on the back. So the one nice thing that I will show you here is the front is actually labeled with what it's doing. So you have an increase, a decrease, a volume, a mode, and an on/off/on right there. And then you have your power, of course. Unfortunately, I do not have a 12 volt voltage supply here. I will have to get one for when my ZA electronics come in, and I want to set those up and run updates and the like. But the first things first is I have never seen this before, and I don't think I'll ever see it again. But the scanner here on the front is actually yellow. It was a special request that I made, and Chris made this a reality for me because if you're going car, you gotta go bad. You can't go half bad. You gotta go all the way bad. So I can't wait to see that lit up. So comparing the two, I'm not quite sure. Make sure you go to Night Scanners and ask the questions that you need to. But looking at the two boxes, they look to be of the same design. An exhaust screen on the top, and on the bottom of the Brennan Fulbright design, you see it has a big fan on it. I'm not going to talk too much about this because you can't get them except for secondhand anymore. But on the Night Scanners version, there's a nice little blower exhaust fan right here on the back. Looks like it has its own power. And then you also have an RCA out for the scanner sounds. So as I mentioned, I purchased this with the proximity sensor, and I assume that's what's in these boxes here. I will have to find out. And then you have your port. Now also in the package is the remote control that will allow you to control the scanner remotely. Does exactly what the name of it is. So unfortunately, I'm sorry that I'm not hooking these up for you to show you. But this was a separate order that I made to Chris so that I had the proximity for my 4th season kit. And I really didn't need the sounds to come out of it, but to have proximity and sounds, yeah, that's going to be pretty cool, seeing as that will be an almost daily driven car. So I'm sure it'll turn a few heads and scare a couple people. So back to the all night scanners here. So also included are these two boxes. Once again, for those of you that don't know how to open boxes, be very careful. Mind where the razor blade is. A little slice. And I cannot tell you actually how happy I am to see this. Turnaround time was very, very quick for a custom made part. Okay, in the big box, we have the speaker module, and it says KARR right on it. That's awesome. So we have a positive, negative, and yellow wire, because it's powered. That's why. So powered speaker here, nondescript, generic, but if it comes from Night Scanners, it must do the job. So I'll leave that box to repackage everything, and we'll see what's in here. This is probably the proximity module. This, it says micro on it. Let's see what we have here. Micro. Nope, that's it. Micro. Green and external trigger, blue internal trigger, black ground, red 12 volt. So Wires plug into micro, and that's it. It's just a special part. I will have to find out what this goes to. Oh, we got another mystery box. This must, yeah, so I know nothing about proximity modules. So this must be the proximity module. These are, oh, this is awesome. So going back to the scanner actual unit, Chris actually included 2 extra 12 volt 55 watt halogen bulbs. That's great. Just remember, do not touch halogen bulbs with your fingers. The oils from your fingers will cause them to die out earlier. A little wisdom from my old man. So I assume that these are the proximity modules. I did not know what to expect, as I've never seen a proximity module before, but I assume that you would put this somewhere, and these 2 clear, what look like LEDs, will detect the motion, and one of these 2 potentiometers inside, labeled 1 and 2, will determine how far away and the sensitivity. So I will have to find out about that. And that appears to be everything that came in this box. The one thing I am surprised that Chris didn't send with it were instructions. For a lot of people that are trying to build it quick, and that don't have a lot of experience with electronics. Now, I know a whole lot about smart home products, and you know, positive and negative, and audio is actual signal, and I understand that, but when you don't know what this is or where it connects, I guess that could become a problem. So we'll have to figure this stuff out, and maybe I'll do a follow-up. But all in all, these are so well made. My hat's off to Chris down at Night Scanners. I would actually take my hat off for him, but I need a haircut, so I'm not doing that. If any of you guys have any questions or concerns, feel free to email me at kevinknightnyc@gmail.com or hit me up on the Facebook. Until next time, I'm Kevin Knight, and one man can make a difference. Have a good one, guys.